On a cold December night in 1995, the villagers of Purulia in West Bengal were settling into the kind of silence only rural India knows. Then, without warning, people began hearing a strange low rumble in the distance. It was deeper, heavier, something moving across the sky. Some stepped outside out of curiosity, others out of caution. When they looked up, they saw the lights of an aircraft flying unusually low. Too low for a commercial flight, too slow for a military jet, and too silent for anything familiar. And then something impossible happened. Wooden crates began dropping from the aircraft, falling through the darkness and crashing into open fields. People screamed, some hid inside their homes, and a few brave men ran toward the boxes trying to understand what was happening. This wasn't rain, this wasn't debris, these were deliberate drops. From the sky, into a quiet village that had no connection to weapons, warfare, or anything remotely suspicious. When the first crate was opened, every person who looked inside felt a shock run through their body. The box was filled with AK-47 rifles, neatly arranged, clean, unused, and packed with military precision. Beneath the rifles were thousands of cartridges, anti-tank grenades, and communication equipment. These weren't old, discarded weapons. These were brand new tools of war. News spread instantly. Within hours, police teams, district officials, and intelligence officers arrived. As more crates were found and opened, the scale of the drop became clear. This was not a mistake. This was an operation executed with planning, precision, and purpose. Investigators immediately checked radar logs and airspace records. What they found was even more shocking. The aircraft that dropped the weapons was a Soviet built AN-26 cargo plane. It had entered Indian airspace without permission, flown low across Purulia, released the crates, and then vanished into the night sky heading southeast. The Indian Air Force scrambled jets for interception, but by the time they could react, the aircraft had already left the region. For 2 days, the mystery dominated headlines. A foreign aircraft had dropped arms in India, escaped without interception, and left behind one of the largest illegal weapon dumps ever discovered on Indian soil. Officials searched frantically for the aircraft across air corridors, but there was no sign of it. And just when the case seemed like it would slip away forever, something unexpected happened. The same aircraft suddenly landed in Mumbai for refueling. The crew didn't run. They didn't resist. They stayed calm, answered questions, and eventually surrendered. Their explanation created even more confusion. The crew claimed the weapons were meant for a spiritual organization called Ananda Marga, but the group denied any involvement. They said they had nothing to do with the arms, the plane, or the operation. This contradiction opened the door to theories. Some investigators believed the drop was planned by an international arms syndicate operating across countries. Others thought it was a covert attempt to destabilize India by arming underground groups. Some believed it was a test, a way to study how quickly Indian air defense would react. And there were whispers about foreign intelligence agencies, though no agency ever confirmed involvement. At the center of the case was one man, Kim Davy, also known as Niels Christian Nielsen. According to investigators, he was the key planner behind the drop. But every time he spoke publicly, he added a new twist. In some interviews, he claimed he was framed. In others, he suggested he was acting under the supervision of powerful individuals who knew exactly what the operation was about. When pressed for details, he never revealed names. He insisted that if he spoke, the consequences would be severe. His silence created more questions than answers. Over time, multiple agencies from different countries investigated the case. Indian authorities questioned everyone involved. British investigators examined the aircraft history. International media interviewed the crew members. Yet, despite all the attention, the core questions never received a clear, definitive answer. Why Purulia? Why that exact night? Who funded the purchase of the weapons? Who were the weapons intended for? And what was the real motive behind dropping an entire armory into a peaceful village? No official explanation has ever fully solved the case. Many details remain classified, many testimonies contradict each other, and many threads lead nowhere. What is certain is this: the Purulia arms drop was no accident. It was a calculated mission involving international movement, precise timing, and careful planning. Someone chose Purulia deliberately, someone selected the flight route, someone paid for the weapons, and someone expected those weapons to be picked up. But none of those people have ever been identified with certainty. Today, almost 3 decades later, the Purulia incident remains one of India's strangest unsolved mysteries. A night when a foreign aircraft flew across the country undetected. A night when weapons meant for war fell from the sky into the hands of confused villagers. A night when answers disappeared into the darkness just as quickly as the aircraft itself. And a night that still leaves behind more questions than explanations. What really happened in the sky over Purulia? Who was behind the operation? And why has the truth stayed buried for so long? The answers remain hidden, and perhaps someone, somewhere, wants them to stay that way. For more hidden stories, unsolved mysteries, and forgotten chapters from India's past, subscribe and follow Beyond Now India.